Hi guys, it's Thu.
And I'm Derek. We're from Thu's Reviews. So today we're going to be talking about 10 Cloverfield Lane, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. And we just finished watching this movie. Thu, what did you think?
I really liked it.
I did too. I thought it was great. Dan Trachtenberg is a first-time director of this series. You want to call it a series of movies? It wasn't really a direct sequel. What do you think?
Very good question. I am not sure.
Okay, so it takes place in the same world as the original Cloverfield.
Right.
But it doesn't really have much to do with the original Cloverfield. Anyway, Dan Trachtenberg, first-time director, I feel like he nailed it on the suspense factor. Mm-hmm. And he nailed it on creating a situation where these characters were at odds constantly, and they didn't know how much to trust each other. So that created a lot of tension, and it was a lot of good stuff there. Thu, what did you think of John Goodman's character?
I loved it. He was like a big old adult kid. It was great to see.
So when it first started out, we saw, spoiler alert, by the way, huge spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen the movie. Stop watching now if you haven't already.
Save yourself.
Yes. So when we start off the movie, it is, what was her name? Mary Elizabeth Winstead? Mm-hmm. Yes. Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, Michelle, obviously leaving her relationship. So she's apparently fed up. She's skipping town. She's driving somewhere, and she's gone. And she isn't paying attention to where she's driving. She's looking at her phone. Let this be a lesson to everyone not to do that. Gets hit, runs off the road, wakes up, chained in a weirdo's basement. What would you do?
I would be so scared. But she kept on like getting her cell phone and trying to find signal in a bunker, which is like, come on, you already know what's going to happen. You can't get signal.
In her defense, it wasn't immediately clear she was in a bunker, though. I mean, she could have been in a basement.
She had no windows. Come on.
Okay. So, John Goodman's character, as soon as he made an entrance, as soon as he came through this creepy-ass door they had, I was like, man, this guy is gonna. It's like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. You know, he's like. I feel like he's gonna skin her and wear her skin as clothing, and it's gonna be a bad day for her.
Yeah.
What did you think about the way their characters interacted? How did you feel about that?
It was really odd because he made it like. I feel kind of bad for John Goodman's character because I feel like he wanted a family, he wanted friends or to be loved so much that he had to force it. And when you have to force anything, it's just a train wreck. So, like, I felt bad for him, but then he was so psychotic and he was so watchable that I just wanted to watch the train wreck.
He just wanted to be loved.
Yeah.
That's all anybody ever really wants. Yeah. So here's an interesting part of the movie. As soon as he started talking about why they were down there, I was like, this guy is one of these survivalists, like the ones you see on the shows. Mm-hmm. He's like doomsday prepper to the max.
Yep. Built
this place, invested so much of his money in this place, so much of his life in this place. Like, if nothing does happen, he just wasted his life. So this guy's got a vested interest in what do they always say? When the shit hits the fan. So this guy's got a vested interest in the shit hitting the fan. He wants it to happen on a certain level. Otherwise, he just wasted his time. So when he starts talking about, could be the Ruskies, could be, aliens from another world, I was like, oh, God, get out of there. He's going to eat you. You're gonna die. So that really surprised me, though, because after all this happens, after all the movie happens, and she finally gets outside, and huge spoilers, please, if you, not even fucking with you here. When she finally gets outside, she sees the geese flying overhead, and she's like, wait a minute, it's safe out here. She takes off her mask. I was like, great, she's going to ride off into the sunset, into movie, it's done. But no. Worms from Mars and fucking alien spaceships and all this stuff. And it was a huge surprise that Howard, this crazy guy this doomsday prepper was actually right. And it kind of blew my mind that even though he was crazy, even though he was killing people, even though all he wanted to be was loved and have his little daughter Megan with him and whatever, everybody wants to escape, it blew my mind that he was right. So that was kind of cool. And that kind of tied it into the whole Cloverfield universe.
I definitely wasn't paying attention to that crazy alien and stuff. I was more focused on the toxic air upstairs.
Okay, so what did you think about that? What did you think when she first tried to leave the bunker and she sees the lady and the lady's trying to get in?
Well, that was the part that we were both confused about, right? Because our assumption was that the alien with the warm arms blew out its toxins and that's why people's skins were peeling off. However, if it goes into the air, it stays in the air. So shouldn't everyone be infected by it? They didn't really clarify that, so...
I felt like the alien ship was like a crop duster, you know? like if it doesn't hit you, it doesn't hit you. You're fine. And the stuff that was falling was kind of... It looked like it was fairly thick. So, like, if it doesn't get on your skin, then you're okay. Mm-hmm. And that's why... I feel like that's why once, like the truck falls and the airbag comes out and she gets out, like, that's why she's able to breathe. Is because the stuff had already fallen... As long as she doesn't roll around in the grass, I think she'll be okay. So
they weren't very specific about that, so.
So at the end of the day, though, this is what I feel is a great suspense movie with kind of a sci-fi twist at the end. But overall, it's a good character story. It's a good character suspense drama. I wouldn't go so far as to take it into like horror movie sort of thing, unless you're talking about like the way Hitchcock would have done horror, which is like psychological horror. Being trapped in an enclosed space with a large psychopath like John Goodman would have terrified the shit out of me.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I definitely wouldn't want to be with John Goodman and his crazy controlling ways. I mean, who would?
What did you think when they were at the dinner table and Emmett, the character, I haven't talked about Emmett much. What did you think when Emmett was trying to like joke around? He's like trying to be lighthearted about stuff. And John Goodman's like, nobody appreciates your humor. Michelle doesn't like your humor either. Let us eat in peace.
So controlling.
Or I'll break your jaw.
So controlling. Crazy stuff. But yeah, I really liked when he shot Emmett and then he gave her ice cream at the end of it. Like, you're psychotic, but here's ice cream for you to eat.
Well, what did you think, too, when he came back, like, so he's like, he shoots him at point blank in the face in front of a tub of acid, so you know what's happening next.
Yeah.
And when he comes back, like, he's clean shaven. Like, you can imagine, he's probably wearing cologne, you know? And he's
They're going to be a
ice
happy
cream.
family.
And he's like, now we can finally, now that it's just you and me, finally, I'm like, oh, God, this is going to get real cringy and rapey and that's when she knew it was time to
Endgame.
Let's get this this hazmat suit finished up so we can get the hell out of here. So that's when the movie really ratcheted up the suspense level, though, because they did this thing where they made you, as an audience, they made you lower your guard. They are like, okay, let's play a happy song. I think we're alone now, and which was in the trailer, which was very appropriate. So they played that, and they had this montage of everybody's getting along. We're making sandwiches together. We're playing life. We're doing puzzles.
Yeah.
We're everything's normal, as normal as it can be, because we know we're stuck down here. Mm-hmm. The lady's face fell off, so we're stuck down here. And let's just all get along. And they were getting along. And as an audience member, my guard went down. I was like, okay, they're gonna get along to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. But then whenever they found out the Megan girl, wasn't actually his daughter, and she tried to escape, and she's probably dead.
Yeah.
That's when it started getting crazy, and it climaxed. It culminated with Howard shooting Emmett right in the face, mm-hmm. and that's when the crazy just switched on, and you knew she had to get out of there. Yeah. So I felt like they did a really good job of lowering our defenses and then gut punching us with that whole ordeal. So
it definitely startled me So I definitely jumped up a little bit in the movies when I saw the gunshot.
So where do you think Cloverfield's going to go after this? What do you think? Because they had the movie with the Godzilla-like monster.
In New York.
Then they had this, and it just kind of reiterates, hey, alien invasion now.
This was in Louisiana. They'll probably be in Houston next because that's where she was planning off going to.
Oh yeah,
so.
my favorite part. So she's heading, I guess, towards Baton Rouge, like north, and she's hearing the radio, and they say, hey, if you're looking to just survive, where if you need medical help, whatever, go north to Baton Rouge or north of Baton Rouge. And if you, but we, on the front lines, we need fighters. We need people to fight back in Houston. And so she's passing a sign. She stops. She backs her car up and she looks at it and it says Baton Rouge straight ahead, Houston that way. And she starts driving and it almost psychs us out because right before she passes the turn, she pimp whips it towards Houston and drives off towards Houston, and that's where it ends. And it makes me think there is definitely going to be a sequel. She's definitely going to be in it, and it's going to be like Independence Day with the Cloverfield aliens. So,
or like a girl that looks like her.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be her. I think she is going to be the main character in the next movie, and I think they're going to keep it going from there. This is going to be the kind of launching of a franchise, maybe. What would you think about that if they kept making Cloverfield like that and made the next movie like an alien invasion movie?
As long as they don't like go extremely overboard with it and make like 4 or 5 movies out of it, then I'm good with it.
What if they just made one really good movie?
They made Cloverfield and then they're making 10 Cloverfield and what's next? 11 Cloverfield? What's next? Like, there's got to be a limit sometimes, guys, even though Hollywood doesn't really think so, but there has to be.
Well, if you consider who this is made by, this is J.J. Abrams. I mean, this is the guy that did the Star Wars movie. This is the guy that did the new Star Trek movies that are like full of action and like over the top. It's his company that made this, so you got to figure if somebody is going to make another like Independence Day sort of movie, he would be a good candidate to do it.
Yeah.
And, the director of this movie may not be the best director for that kind of movie because this is a smaller scale movie, a more character-driven movie. I feel like the next movie is going to be like a war movie.
A war movie.
Yeah. It's going to be...
more action.
It's going to be Independence Day. Will Smith's going to be in it. They're going to have the guy that does the
White House blowing up.
Yeah, the White House blowing up. That's got to be in it. They've got to have whoever is installing the cable, Jeff Goldblum. He's got to do his thing. So, and yeah, computer code's going to kill the aliens at the end. So that's my prediction for the next Cloverfield movie.
I just hope they don't overdo it. So crossing fingers. What did you guys think about the movie? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? I would love to hear what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.
Bye. I feel like he absolutely nailed it on the suspense of the movie, and I feel like
he knows how I feel. He knows how I feel.
First time director Dan Ackerberger.
What is that?
What's the director's name?